Let's talk Kanye West. This is what he said. I can't even, I'm not happy with him. I'm not happy with him. And I'm asking this question, folks. How far should free speech go? This is what Kanye, or Ye, said about George Floyd when he was on Drink Champs with Noriega over the weekend, that aired over the weekend. Take a look, folks. He said, quote, I watched the George Floyd documentary that Candace Owens put out. One of the things that his two roommates said was they want a tall guy like me, and the day that he died, he said a prayer for 8 minutes. They hit him with the fentanyl. If you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. Let's bring Bree Fly into it.
Leave me out of this. No.
This is not about making mockery. You know what I'm saying? This is a really about the fact that, bro, you are crossing so many lines right now because of this your whatever mental space that you in, but you can't even acknowledge the truth, bro. It's hurtful. It's hurtful to all of us who saw the video and the pain of police terrorizing black men. It's hurtful. And not just hurtful in a sense like, oh man, you shouldn't have said that. Like, you got some black men who said, man, maybe he was hit with the fentanyl. Say that shit when the police is on your neck, bro. That's a common move. That's a tactic, a technique of holding a man down, to put their foot on your neck, then your knee on your neck. Like,
it's interesting.
Dude, I mean, and I'm I'm not trying to put you in no crazy position, B. I'm trying to just simply make the point. This dude is going out of bounds. He talking about free speech. Look what he said about the free speech thing. Because he's also interested in buying the right-wing social media platform Parler. He's considering buying that. But take a look. Let's show this one, Keenan. Ye's net worth is reportedly $2 billion. Let's throw this quote on there, bro. Much of his fortune comes from his Yeezy sneaker brand in partnership with Gap and Adidas. However, Ye severed business ties with Gap recently, and Adidas said it's also reviewing its business relationship with him. JP Morgan Chase also cut ties with the rapper before he said all of this stuff. Parler is one of several right-wing friendly platforms to emerge during the Trump era, as the former president's supporter claimed unfair treatment by Twitter and other apps. We know Ye is off of Twitter. He's off of Instagram. Now he's talking about buying Parler. How far does free speech go? I want you to speak on that. How far does free speech go, B? Because now you into a space, bro, you don't belong. And I don't care how much you say, oh man, I'm trying to get people to think. Because George Floyd's family is considering a lawsuit for the defamation. It's been already proven that Chauvin, his knee on brother George Floyd's neck was the cause of his death. It's already been proven. It's been discussed in court. Now you trying to come up with some dumbass thing talking about fentanyl. These celebrities, man.
Listen, there are certain flat earth moments in the world that happen. You know what I'm saying? There are certain flat earth comments that come out of our mouth, all right? And that make the people be like, what? That doesn't make any sense, all right? But at the end of the day, what I'm not going to participate in, right, is the extraction of 2 minutes out of a 2-hour conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like that right there, you know what I'm saying, is what I don't do with my Black free thinkers. Alrighty. I'm going to listen to the full and I'm going to understand the fullness. You know what I'm saying? And so if there's a 2 minute that I don't agree with, then I'm going to still allow that person to have their 2 minutes that I don't agree with. But chances are there's probably 15 minutes that you do agree with. Focus in on that. And so
it's harder for, let me tell you why.
Listen,
you know why?
Here's the thing, because because people are so used to everyone being in the choir.
Look. When Kanye said that, what he said about Lizzo, Black people have an obesity problem. I agree. I'm saying taking Lizzo out of the conversation, Black people have an obesity problem in our community. We can't act like that's not a problem, right? I agree. But what Kanye does, and I said this before, when you got truth mixed with madness.
But see, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Someone is always able to disagree because, you know what I'm saying, you agree with what he said about Lizzo. But with that, there's probably 500 of your particular fans who are obese, who will feel a way about the fact that you ride with him on that part. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, and that's the part, like, why do we expect to agree 100% with people who we bang with? You know what I'm saying? It's okay for you to bang,
I don't bang with Kanye no more.
Evidently you do, because still we manage to talk about the person you don't bang with every week.
I know. I'm talking about it because it's news, though.
So the law of attraction part, you know what I'm saying, with everybody.
I mean, look, I don't bang with Trump, but we talk about Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to talk about stuff. Like, no. Here's the thing. No, here's my take on that piece very quickly.
That's how we end up.
No. See, I'm not. Look, you can't.
That's how we
wait a minute. Hold on.
That's how we start and keep our jobs.
No, wait a minute. No, it's not about that. You can't. And I'm talking about the big picture of conversation, the big picture of communication, right? We can't act as if people don't exist. Like, and here's my case in point. When Trump does all the stuff that he do, right? It creates an impact. It gets people talking. It changes minds. It shapes context. If we here, whether it's this platform or some other platform, act as if we could just be like, oh, I don't want to pay attention to them, we're doing ourselves a disservice, because it is moments and opportunities like this that we need to talk about, that we need to either uproot or that we need to cultivate to figure out where we stand, right? Because these individuals have influence, they still have a platform, they still have some sense of power. So we can't act like, oh, Kanye no longer exists, because guess what? When you start talking about moments of our struggle, we could have, when Kanye said slavery was a choice, we got to talk about that. Why is that important to talk about? Because somebody who's Black, who don't know their history, is going to think that slavery was a choice. Some young person who don't know their history is going to think slavery was a choice. My point in saying that is that
know the fullness of the context, and most of us agree with the fullness of the context. But when we take the Gemini soundbite away from the context, we start white manning, and that's never safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it brings us back to this conservative middle, when if we're actually moving the culture forward, you're able to say, all right, boom, this is my agree with and disagree with column when it comes to this person. You know what I'm saying? Because once you want to have a conversation about stripping liberties from a person, that's literally having a conversation of diminishing value. What I'm not going to do is have a conversation that diminishes another Black man, Black woman's value based on my opinion of that person. If I do that, then I am no different from my enemy, white male patriarchal idea. We have to be able to all sit at the table with different opinions about a thing, different methods of communication. If we can't do that and still get to the bottom of what's really important for all of us, then you're just lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, the thing about media is that, on one hand, you're told to stay relevant. You're told to speak off the cuff and say what's on your mind, because that's what the people want. It's going to keep them going. But then you want to dismiss and devalue the person for doing that and keeping his name on your mouth.
No.
Like,
I'm trying to dismiss. It's not about dismissing the value of the person. It's about setting the record straight. He's wrong. He's an influential person.
He's a flat earther. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end, and that's why I brought up flat earthing. You know what I'm saying? Because once flat earthing came up, right, we were able to see people, right, in our society who, like, we didn't know that you thought the earth was flat. It's like, what the fuck? Right. The shit was mind blowing. And it made us feel as if there was a new line that was established. Are you a round earther or a flat earther? Today, the idea sounds bizarre, juvenile, lowbrow, because we're all on the same earth, period. All right. So my opinion about its shape, does it really matter enough to be dismissed? At the end of the day, we know what happened. This man was killed in front of our face.
Right.
Period. There is no coming back from that.
Right.
We are not his. We burned this place down as a result. Okay? So it doesn't matter what somebody says in retrospect. What does matter is how deeply we hang on every sentence this man utters. I am a fan, and I don't hang on his every word as deeply as his quote unquote non-fans do. That right there is a psychological situation.
That's celebrity culture. That's celebrity culture.
And that's why that celebrity stays that celebrity, and that's why that celebrity keeps on winning.
No. Here's what I'm saying.
Continue to go
up. No. See. Here's the thing.
Is on his side. He keeps people talking about.
No, I ain't on his side.
Singing his praises or his dismissal. Like, it doesn't matter when everybody's still choir to your name. Everybody's over here screaming, yay! Yay!
No. Ain't nobody screaming. Here's the thing, sis. The thing is that if you keep putting out the foolishness for people to see it for themselves, then maybe it will shift the admiration, the love, the idol worship that we have of individuals. You know what I'm saying? Like this is why celebrities don't really, for many, many years, y'all know, celebrities don't talk outside of their art, whatever their craft is, right? They don't talk outside of the sports world. But the moments that celebrities start to get into a space and trust and believe, their handlers around them say, look, don't get into these spaces and you're not clear. You're not clear. You can.
It is if you say an opinion that is not popular, it has the potential of affecting you financially. So
and guess what? And guess what? I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I'm good with stop idol worshiping. That's what I'm talking about. Like we look up to these individuals, right? These folks, some of these folks, I mean, exorbitant amount of money spending on the mad foolishness. They feeding us foolishness as a consumer. If they're not feeding us foolishness, they feeding our children some foolishness, right? And you can't stop the flow of foolishness that's coming into your home. I don't care where you live, how you live. The fact is that when you step out, you don't even got to step out. When you wake up, you're introduced to the madness of America every time you open up your eyes. And my point is that in order for us to stop this flow, we have to become empowered enough to say, you know what, I'm not going to, let me hear what this person, that way we put it out there. I'm going to put it out there because you can stop idol worshiping. So we can stop idol worshiping. I'm tired of the idol worship. I'm tired of us putting hope in
worship.
people.
That ain't me. I
That
don't idol worship. The person that idol worships, is literally like the person who looks at TV, who looks at media, who looks at the celebrity, stargazes, goes into their bedroom and tries to dress and become them because they want that. And listen, you know what I'm saying? Idol worshiping is a real thing, and so, but that's not what everybody does when we consume a person, when we consume entertainment, when we're consuming the mouthpiece, when we're consuming the celebrity for that X amount of time. You know what I'm saying? And so most of us don't. Media more so idol worships Kanye because media knows that as long as media keeps on saying the name that keeps people going, then they'll still be relevant. And so at the end of the day, what is he really doing? You know what I'm saying? What is he actually affecting in your household? Not
but see, no, he doesn't affect nothing in my household. But here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying, B.
Household, not
B.
a thing.
Hey, let me just tell you. I'm just telling you, and I feel you on that. He doesn't affect us personally, right? But the show is called The Culture. Okay, let's like the show is called The Culture. The show, the platform is based.
Culture.
He's a part of the culture, and here's the thing. The culture has to be discussed, right? And when you have individuals who, let me reframe this. We are trying in this day and time to get us to think about the whole and not about the individual. We are trying in this day and time to focus on truth and not on emotional rants and emotional outbursts. We are trying in this day and time to have real conversations about the progress and the elevation of our consciousness. And so when you're talking about an individual who has influence, who we know, who we have kind of quote unquote grown up with, are you talking about an individual that has some sort of sway, right? If you're talking about a person that has the possibility to disrupt that. He could be a disruptor in the fashion space, but you're also disrupting the what we're trying to build in the culture. We need a different culture. And it can't rely on lies and just, I'm going to just go off and do whatever I feel like doing and saying whatever I say without no repercussion. Part of the culture needs to have a checks and balance. If a joker is talking all that madness, he needs to be checked for it.
The culture ain't a monolith and has never fully had a Ma'at-based commandment system that they've ever praised and atoned to. Like, understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, the culture is a living, breathing thing that moves like water, gets polluted, and also purifies. This is the culture. This is the reality of it. There is no one person who is above the culture, and there's no one who's below our culture. If you actually deposit into it, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I will not ever devalue his deposits that he's put into our culture just because they have revved the people up and got them going and got them to think about shit that they haven't necessarily thought about before, having conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of Kanye, we're still talking about George Floyd. Understand? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a way to shape it. You know what I'm saying? Without wanting to pull him in Candace Owens.
No. We're talking about George Floyd.
It's not about.
No, but
today we are talking about George Floyd because he uttered his name on Drink Champs.
Because he's disrespectful. His ass is disrespectful.
Listen,
he's disrespectful.
But he's still the
bro. It's like you talking about Emmett Till. It's like you talking about Emmett Till. What you gonna say? Emmett Till ain't get killed because of the lie of Carolyn Bryant? Nah, that wasn't a lie. Emmett Till got killed because he chose to drag his own self out of his home. You can't, bro. Like we're in a. Here's the thing. We're in a time right now where our not only in our culture is our history is under attack each and every day. So we can't allow anybody, whether they're black or white, Asian or Latino, we can't allow anybody to disturb how history is, because in this day and time, you can get a joker something could have actually happened, but because it comes from somebody who has influence and power, then guess what? Some other people are going to make it believe, no, but that's not what really happened.
Generations
that's the power
later,
of Hollywood.
we learn.
That's the power of Hollywood. Somebody can utter something and then this shit it's not real.
Here's the thing. Generations later, we hear the woman lied. We have facts on the woman lied, right? But even at that point, you still had mothers and fathers who were still towing that conservative middle that said Emmett Till shouldn't have been looking at no woman. Emmett Till shouldn't have been You know, and so like generations later, we're able to actually come to a new determination, everyone collectively. This is culture. Culture moves, culture updates, culture gets discussed, but at the end of the day, culture gets deposited into, and it's never our culture. We are real. We are breathing. We are traumatized.
Exactly. That's traumatizing.
And we're holy still. Like, understand, all of us. And so it's like we have to be able to find the patience with our people, because humans grow, humans develop, humans say shit, humans attracted. Yes, F.
No,
yes.
And look, trust and believe, I'm that guy. I'm that guy. Look, I allow people. Look, check it out.
You gonna be like, oh my God, I love them.
No. I'm the guy that allows humans to grow, but don't play the games about history. There's got to be some boundaries, bro. There's got to be some boundaries. I'm sick and tired of black celebrities making mockery of our struggle and thinking it's okay. Bro, you're going to get checked on that. I don't care who it is. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of black people. I'm tired of black people being ignorant. If this would happen 50 years ago, if George Floyd happened 50 years ago, and then he makes a point about it, it'd be one thing. But this just happened a few years ago. George Floyd has been talked about tremendously before Kanye West. We can't stop saying the summer of 2021, the racial reckoning of the killing of George Floyd. People are talking about George Floyd as a tipping point and a pivotal point of our movement, of our history, of the activism of the next generation. I'm gonna just simply put, don't fuck up history to try to fit your agenda, because that's dangerous.
History, one person can't fuck up history though.
No. I'm talking about black folk. You mean to tell me a black man can't even admit that another black man was killed by a white police officer because his knee was on his neck?
That's not what was happening. During that part of the conversation, Kanye was showing us, alrighty, a different part.
No. Here's the other part. I'm gonna push back on it because I think I'm tired of this. I'm trying to get people to think. Man, I don't want to hear that bullshit, man.
No, that's not what I was about to say. During that time, alrighty, what I was able to see was the depths of his alien conspiracy brain. Alrighty, not everybody believes in aliens and goes to and pays attention to Area 13, right? But you got some people that do, and they really into that, right? So during this period of time, he's also talking to you about other conspiracy rabbit holes he's fallen into, right? So
he's used that before. He's used that before. He said that shit about the White Lives Matter thing. Like, I thought it was funny to try to get people. Dude, you're offending people. You are traumatizing black folks.
Mentality this gives you intel into his mentality. Bro. In this time, he was not speaking factual. He was speaking conspiracy conjecture. Like I'm saying, if you also believe, you know what I'm saying, to a 10th of a degree, that this person has mental illness, all righty? You also believe to a 10th of a degree, you know what I'm saying, that this person envelops some genius qualities. Then you'll also have to believe that this person is going to say some shit all the way over to the left. You're also going to believe, you know what I'm saying, and know that there's going to be some other fringy sort of ideas that come along with this individual. All righty. At the end of the day, you have to be able to do your mathematics when it comes to Kanye. And at no time are you able to apply basic math, 2 + 2 = 4, and you get a clear Kanye. That is not what he is.
Guess what? Guess what, B?
And so what, you just want to take freedom of speech from the mentally ill?
No, I ain't talking about freedom of speech. I'm just saying, look. Freedom of speech is supposed to, freedom of speech is a God-given right? Because a lot of places and don't give you allowed to express yourself. I am a huge advocate of freedom of speech, but use it responsibly. Use it to speak the truth, right? Don't try to play these mind games of like, I'm really trying to say this so y'all can think that. Don't, man, look. We don't know. In this day and time, B, you know it and I know it. All this double talk, this shit is getting to be a problem. Black folks in particular, and the people around this world, you need to tell people straight speech. Ain't all this extra double talk. Tell people what it is. If you got a view, don't be like, well, I'm gonna frame it this way so y'all can think that way. No, because guess what? It's that type of approach that's got people confused. It's that type of approach that rewrites history. It's that type of approach where if a child were to hear you, then they won't be empowered by the language that you use, because words got power and it's got energy. And at this point in time, we have to use our platforms responsibly. It's one thing that you believe a certain thing. It's another thing that you know you believe something and you deny what you believe and put out a counter understanding of what you and everyone else just saw. Now you going into a destructive place.
I think that truth is subjective. Each person has their own truth that is able to be debated by another person. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is when it comes to certain facts and opinions and perspectives, because that's what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with an autopsy report, an undebatable thing. We are literally talking about that. That's not what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a documentary that's based in a conspiracy,
the documentary rhetoric. The hell with the documentary.
We're
talking about what actually happened. He's talking about he's seen a documentary Candace Owens puts out.
That's literally what he's referring to. That's literally the conversation.
I saw the quote. I saw the quote. But did you see the end of that quote?
Listen, I saw the interview. I didn't see a quote. I listened to him speaking. You know what I'm saying? I watched the entire thing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't read a quote. I was there watching the conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I know the fuller context of the conversation.
The guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. That's what Kanye said.
That was a quote of a larger conversation. And if you weren't aware of the larger conversation, I'm trying to let you know the larger conversation here.
Welcome to Atlanta, one of the most expensive housing markets in America. But rather than help out, Brian Kemp cashed in. He made hundreds of thousands of dollars in real estate. His net worth skyrocketed. And while Atlantans struggled to stay in their homes, Kemp gave $10,000 tax handouts to the richest Georgians and a nearly $700 million no-bid contract to his campaign donor, Brian Kickback Kemp, making Georgia work for him, not you.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
When we invest in ourselves, our glow, our vision, our vibe, we all shine. Together, we are black beyond measure.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now We have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?